Hey guys, welcome to Alex Goes Coconuts. So today's episode is going to be what's in my carry-on for a long haul flight. My job as an overseas buyer sends me to Asia twice a year, and I've been flying to Asia for about 10 years now. So my flights are quite long. They're between 14 and 16 hours long. And if I have a stopover, it can go even up to 18 hours. So these are the things that I carry on to the plane with me that I know I'll need during the flight. The first thing you're gonna need is a good bag. Now, there is a debate between bags. A lot of people like to carry on like these roll-on bags, like roll-on little suitcases, and those are fine for a short flight where you're packing all your clothes in there, but really for a long-haul flight, I find those are inefficient. You're gonna want a bag that's easily accessible and that you can keep under your seat with you. The problem with these roll-on suitcases is that you have to put them in the overhead bin, and in these long flights, most people sleep on the flight, and you don't want to have to bother people to get up and then have to access that overhead bin. You're making a lot of noise, and then just to unzip and open up the whole suitcase just to get a few items is inefficient and illogical. Personally, I like to bring a backpack like this. Now this one is a backpack with a laptop compartment inside, and I find I can fit everything in my backpack that I need for the flight, and at the same time, when I'm going through security, this one's easy. I just put it on my back and it keeps my hands free to do other stuff while I'm navigating the airport. So you can definitely also use a travel tote bag. Those work. The only thing I find with a tote bag is that it can get pretty big and heavy, and sometimes it's just like one strap or like a handle you have to hold, and I find those just are cumbersome. So now that you have your bag, you will definitely need your passports. You can either get yourself a passport holder of some kind. I just went out and purchased myself a little pencil case like this that I got at Walmart, and this has little zippers inside. It carries my pens, and you will need pens to fill out visas or custom cards. And it also carries passports and any other like tickets or papers I might have. So this is a practical little one. The next thing I bring is my iPad. I carry several books on my iPad that I read with iBook. I also have all my work-related stuff on it. And it's also great because I download a few movies from Netflix onto here. So if I don't like what's playing on the plane, I have a few shows and movies that I can watch on my iPad. Now, another reason why you want to download a couple of movies and some shows on your iPad is because sometimes the screens on the front of your seat do not work, and I've had this happen to me 2-3 times, and that's not a big deal when you have like a 3-4 hour flight, but when you're on a flight for 16 hours, you definitely want something to watch. So it becomes a very long flight if there's no entertainment whatsoever. Now, I also never leave home without my phone, and this too can serve you pretty well. I do have a few games on this. I have my music, and it also doubles up as a camera, so phones are great. I mean, everybody owns a phone these days, so I don't know why you wouldn't bring it. So now that I have my phone and my iPad, I actually bring charging wires for it. So I'll bring the iPad block with my charging wire, and this charges both my phone and my iPad, so that way I don't have to worry. I also bring an external battery pack with the charging wire in case my iPad or my phone dies. Now, most planes do have a place where you can plug in your iPhone or your iPad, but sometimes they do not work. And so why take a chance? Just bring your external battery pack, and that way you'll be set. You'll definitely need some earphones to watch your movies on your iPad or listen to your music or whatever else you might need it for. So to carry all my electronics, I actually purchased myself one of these little grids. These are like travel grids, and you can put all your wires in here, all your chargers, your battery, your phone, even fits like your glasses, so whatever you need. So these are really practical. They're really thin too, so they fit right into my backpack. They're lightweight, and they carry all my stuff in one place. You'll also want to bring your prescription glasses. You don't want to pack your prescription glasses in your suitcase in case they lose or misplace your suitcase, you'll need your glasses with you. So another thing I like to bring are sunglasses. So I carry this in my backpack too. I find often on the drive to the airport, it's sunny, and once I land, I also get into the taxi and I like to have sunglasses, especially after a 16-hour flight. Your eyes do get very sensitive to light, so you'll want to wear these sunglasses on the way to the hotel or wherever you're heading. Now, the first thing I do as soon as I get onto the plane is use these little wet wipes, and I wipe down all the surfaces that I will be touching in the plane. Now, I don't know how many travelers went through that plane, but I'm sure they don't clean every single screen. I also like to carry these stain removers. Now, these are Shout Wipe and Go stain removers. These are really great. They're super practical. If you do get any kind of stain or a spill on your shirt, they wipe off the stain really well, and they're super practical. So I bring maybe 3-4 of these on the plane with me in case I do get dirty during the flight. You'll definitely need some Kleenex with you in case you get a runny nose or you get the sniffles during your flight. So these are always practical to have. So Kleenex is a must. I also suggest bringing some lip gloss. When I take a flight, I bring extra strength lip gloss. So basically, I bring this Vaseline Cocoa Butter lip gloss. Now this one's nice and thick. It really hydrates the lips pretty well. And I also travel with my Blistex Lip Med. And the reason why I like Blistex is if you feel like a cold sore coming on, or if your lips are starting to be really chapped or broken up, the Blistex really works a lot better than regular lip gloss for those reasons. The next thing on the list would be a little pill box with some medications. So I usually pack a couple of pills of Tylenol, ibuprofen, sinus and cold medication in case you're getting stuffed up. That's really, really important because the air pressure will make your sinuses feel even more compressed. So if you're starting to feel pain, the sinus and cold medication will really open up those sinuses and make you breathe better. I also carry some ginger Gravol, so any kind of like anti-nausea medication is fine. I just find the ginger Gravol really works for me, and there's no medication in that. It's just basically ginger, and it really does take away any kind of nausea you might feel. I always carry some of these wipes. Now, I really love the Marcel makeup removing cleansing cloths, and why I love them is because they're ultra gentle and they're great for sensitive skin, and they have a micellar solution. Micellar water, if any of you guys have ever used it, it's really effective at removing makeup, but it's also very soothing for the face. So these are my favorite wipes. I have tried a whole bunch of them, and these are definitely my number ones. So I will take these and remove my makeup before hitting the sack. And it's also great after a really long flight. You feel kind of like yucky, and just wiping your face with a nice fresh cloth feels great. I really also like to carry this Aven thermal spring water. Now this is a spray, and this is great because it's a hydrating spray. So you know how it's really, really dry in the plane and your skin starts feeling tight after a while? Now you spray your face with this and it reintroduces moisture into the face, and it really does take out that kind of dry, tight feeling on the face. I absolutely love it. And why I use the Aven one is that it's specially made for sensitive skin, and it's soothing and very, very softening. So I really love this stuff. So when you're traveling, you will need to put all your liquids into a small Ziploc bag like this. Now I always carry an extra Ziploc in case this one tears and I need one on the way back. When you're taking a long flight, you're gonna be sleeping on the plane, so you will need a couple of toiletries for when you wake up. So I like to carry mouthwash to freshen up my breath right after I slept. And I do carry a little tube of toothpaste and my toothbrush. And that way, if they do lose or misplace my luggage for a while when I arrive at my destination, I will have my toothbrush and toothpaste with me at all times. I also carry a little tiny travel brush like this, just so I can, brush my hair after I slept on it. And I always carry an elastic or some kind of tie for the hair. It can get pretty hot in the plane, so having something to tie your hair with is gonna be amazing. You'll also want to carry some floss sticks. You will eat a meal or two on the plane, and in case you get something stuck in your teeth, trust me, a couple of floss sticks or some like a little container of floss is always practical to have. So I do suggest you bring all your prescription medication onto the plane with you. Now, I have food allergies, so I always bring my epinephrine with me on the plane. I actually bring 2 of these on the plane to make sure that if I do have an allergy, I'm prepared. I also carry my asthma pumps. So any kind of prescription medication you'll need, like think birth control pill, cholesterol meds, anything that you'll need on your trip, you will want to bring with you in your carry-on. You don't want to take a chance of checking that stuff in, and like I said, if they lose or misplace your luggage, you won't have that stuff for several days, so it's just not worth it. Bring everything you'll need that's important with you on your carry-on. I don't really travel with very expensive jewelry, but if you are planning on bringing like some diamond earrings or any kind of like jewelry that's important to you, you'll also want to carry that on your carry-on. Because I travel first class, I usually get one of these little pouches from the airline, and they do include like some earplugs like this and a little face mask for when you're sleeping, and they do include some socks and usually a couple of creams and other things like that. Now, I do end up using the face mask and the earplugs, so if you're not traveling first class, I do suggest you bring that stuff anyway with you. You can buy that kind of stuff at Walmart or any kind of drugstore. They sell these kind of things. I like to also carry a pair of wool socks. So it does get pretty chilly inside the plane, especially when you're at a very high altitude. So keeping your feet warm is really gonna help with keeping your whole body temperature up. I also like to carry this extra little bag. Now this is a foldable bag like this, a reusable bag. It's very lightweight. It rolls into a small little ball, and this is great when you're traveling, because let's say you buy a few items and it doesn't fit in your backpack, you have an extra bag in case you need it. Or if you're flying home and you're bringing gifts back for the kids, you will have an extra bag on you so that you can fit everything in it and you're not stuffing everything into your backpack. I do like to bring my makeup with me. Now I only bring the essentials. I bring some lip gloss, some blush, and maybe some mascara with me, so that once I arrive at my destination, I can actually put my makeup on before I leave. Especially after a full day of flying, you're gonna look like shit when you get out of the plane. I'm sorry, but it's true. You've been sleeping on that thing, you're all puffy and stuffed up, and you're just gonna want to freshen up with some makeup before you head to the hotel. The last thing I suggest you pack on your carry-on is a change of clothes. So I like to bring leggings and an extra sweater, like a super lightweight sweater. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this happen where people spill drinks all over themselves during the flight, and they didn't plan ahead and they don't have a change of clothes with them. I mean, it's one of the worst things you can do. You don't want to be wet on a 16-hour flight the whole time. So definitely bring a change of clothes with you. You won't regret it. And sometimes if it's really cold, I will take these extra pieces of clothes and layer them on. So it's never bad to have it with you. I also like to bring some kind of scarf or a little shawl like this. And this doubles up as a blanket, especially if you're flying economy. The blankets in first class are nice and big and thick and toasty, but the ones they give you in economy are quite thin, and you will end up being cold halfway through the flight. It's always practical to have with you. I also do suggest you bring an extra pair of undergarments. Like I said, in case they do lose your luggage, you will have those to change into the next day. And they're also practical in case you do spill, I don't know, like wine or something on yourself. You're also gonna want to maybe change your undergarments if it does end up seeping in that far. But yeah, so they're always practical to have, guys. So that's about it. That's what I pack in my carry-on. So I hope I've helped you figure out what to pack on your trip. And let me know in the comments below if I forgot anything or if you have any other suggestions. Okay guys, have a good day. Bye.